Now we're in the home stretch for making our little drawstring bag. We have stitched our long seams, we have stitched and left our little opening. Just to help reduce a little bit of bulk, I mean thickness, just take a little corner like this. Don't cut the stitching, just go to the little corners on the four ends. Number 3, and here's number 4. Keep all the bits tidy. Now, little bit of magic. Go to your opening. Put your fingers in, catch one of the far corners and gently pull the bag to the right side. Use your fingers to just pull out the corners. One, two corners here, get nice crisp corners. Down to the other end. You're doing this all from the inside of the bag. Now, see what you have. You have your outside of your bag where you've put, if you have used your little bit of embellishment, whether you did some buttons or embroidery or whatever you wanted to do on it. And you have your lining, and you can see now your 2 casings. Now, I would suggest at this stage, it's a good idea to press your seams just to give the bag a really nice little finish. So I've just warming up, I've put because this is cotton fabric, I'm going to use 3 dots, nice and hot, so that I get a nice finish. Now, I do have to close up this little area here. So I'm just going to finger press that little opening. You can pop a pin in it and just close it either with a little whip stitch if you like, or I'm just going to use a little running stitch. Upsy daisy. Again, deciding not to thread for me. There we go. And it didn't. Okay. Sometimes even for me, the thread won't go into the needle. Might just try a bigger needle just for little knot on the end. And we're ready. Now my iron has heated up. The little light, the indicator light has gone off. So I'm just going to lightly, I have a little small iron here so you can see what I'm doing. And my little upcycled breadboard, old breadboard, which I made into a little tabletop ironing board for when I'm doing my small crafts. Very handy. It's all ironed. I'm finished with the iron. I'm going to turn it off before I go to the next part. I want to close up this. Now I'm going to, just want you to see, I'm just going to bury the knot between the 2 pieces of fabric there. That's just a piece of thread. I don't want the knot showing on the outside, even though it's going to be on the inside of the bag. Now, and just again, nice, neat little stitches. If you want to do running stitch, some of you might like to try whip stitch. So I'm going to hold the edge between my thumb and first finger, and I'm just going to take a few little threads stubborn thread today for me. Excuse me there now. Now, so again, just look at the position. The 2 edges, press between my thumb and finger, and I just whip the needle. And it's just the bare edge of the fabric And that's a little whip stitch. And it's just, again, not too far down, just a couple of threads down on the edge. And that will just close that gap nicely for us there. Keep stitching across. And away we go, we're nearly there. The two edges are together. And just make sure you catch the needle over the two edges as you whip along. Very useful little stitch for closing up. Now I've reached the end, I've closed my gap. Go back again over the last stitch. There's my little loop, pop in my needle. There's my second loop, pop in the needle, pull, and I'm just going to bury the thread between the fabrics there. So get a lovely neat finish. I'm just going to turn the iron back on again now. Now, as you can see, your lovely bag, there's no threads. Now, take your bag and push the lining into your outer bag and just pop the corners down in to itself there. Take your top edge, to press that there with the iron just to give it a nice crisp finish. Going to do the same on the outside edge of the Now, there you have your bag. I would suggest, and it's a good idea, to just do a little row of top stitching. I'm going to do that with pink thread, just to stand out, make it, and I'm going to do it with a double thread because I want it to stand out as a feature. So again, you can use whatever color thread you want. You can use a contrasting thread if you want to make a decorative finish. Now, I'm not going to tie a knot on this because I've nowhere to bury the knot and I don't want the knot to show on the outside. So I'm just going to bring the needle, you see that, just through, just catch the tail, and I'm going to take a double stitch here just to secure the start. Now between all the layers, now this, and I'm going to make my stitches just slightly bigger than what I did on my seams because it's a decorative top stitch. You could use a chain stitch, a stem stitch, whatever you want. So we work that all the way around, keeping your stitches and your space even. And what the top stitching will do is it will give it a nice decorative finish, but it will also hold the lining inside the bag so that it won't come in and out. So I'm just going to pause now and stitch that away and come back to you in a few moments.